Yo, yo, yo! Welcome back to the MMA Short Show. As always, your boy, Stephen Moustaris. And I've already broken down my three biggest fights of the weekend at UFC 310. And I get it for most people. It's a no-brainer. Ian Gary, Shavkat Rakhmonov, two undefeated prospects. You know, guys that have been hyped up for years. They finally get a chance to go at it to prove who might be the number one guy in the division, let alone there being a champion in Bilal Muhammad. Like, that fight might be bigger than a championship fight, but all in all, man, one of the most crazy things to me, one of the most shocking things, one of the most disrespectful things I've ever seen, which I cannot get over right now, is Aljamain Sterling and Movsar Evloev being put on the prelims for Bryce Mitchell versus Kron Gracie. Like, what are we doing? Kron Gracie hasn't fought in 4 years, and the last time we saw him, he looked terrible against Cub Swanson. Looked like he shouldn't even have been in the UFC. That's how bad he looked. And granted, Cub Swanson is good. I get it. But man, really, for him to be just, sit out 4 years because he got destroyed so bad, and to use his name to get on to get on the actual main card against somebody like Bryce Mitchell, who, yes, is well known, but hasn't he lost 2 straight fights in the UFC? Like, devastatingly? Like, I don't understand it, man. Aljamain Sterling is a champion, but at the same time, he might be the most disrespected champion in UFC history. This guy gets pooped around all day, all because of an illegal knee that was never his fault, and maybe a little too much backpacking and a little too much control time without looking to finish certain people. But still, it doesn't make sense to me, man. You guys are trying to build up Ilia Topuria, who is one of the biggest champions right now, one of the biggest stars in the UFC history, let alone currently, and you guys already got him beating 2 of the GOATs, Volkanovski and Max Holloway. And what are we going to do to build him up? Oh, we're going to put maybe his 2 biggest, challenges in the division on the prelims. Movsar Evloev is a killer, undefeated. He's the only one that has beat Diego Lopez, who's argued to be the one that could beat Ilia Topuria. He's the only one that has beaten. He's undefeated. Like, he's the killer. You got this man, Aljamain Sterling, his man is a killer. He's been a former champion at 135. The stuff that he's doing at 145 is insane. To see what he did to Calvin Kattar is impressive. That man has never been dominated like that, ever. And you got these two. We know Ilia's never going to get knocked out, ever. But this man, the only 2 ways that he could probably lose is either getting gassed out by a guy who can control him, or, maybe getting submitted by a good grappler. And who are the 2 best in the division right now that he has not fought or has a chance to fight? It's Aljamain Sterling and Evloev. Like, you can build these guys up, put them on the main card, hype them up. Aljo, former champ. Evloev beats, Aljamain Sterling. It's going to be super impressive. And if this man, Aljamain Sterling goes up a division and takes out a guy like Evloev, it's going to be impressive. You could hype these guys up right now, push it to be the Ilia Topuria's next fight, and Ilia's going to beat their ass. And Ilia's going to be even a bigger champion, beating another former champion. That could be 3 straight in a row if he's got to fight Aljo. But no, instead, we're going to throw him on the little prelims and act like it's not that big of a fight. And we're going to put Bryce Mitchell and Kron Gracie on there, who have nothing to do with a title shot, nothing to do with a title implication, nothing to do with the top 10 of the division. And we're going to throw him here. I'm flabbergasted. Nate the Train Landwehr, fun guy. Sure, I understand why he's there. Duho Choi, cool, great performances throughout your guys' career. You guys are nowhere as big as a fight as this man, Aljamain Sterling, Movsar Evloev. Surreal Gone versus this man, Alexander Volkov's not even as big of a fight as that. What are we doing? And in the same line, in the same card, we're going to give a guy who's never even fought in the fucking UFC, who's never even fought for the organization, doesn't even have a win over a former UFC champion. We're going to throw him into a main event slot, give him a title shot. What are we putting on for our fighters here if you're the UFC? I just don't understand it, man. The treatment is so disrespectful, and this is their chance. Even if you don't like Aljo, even if you don't like Movsar, guess what? You got Ilia Topuria, who's the best. He might be the hottest guy. What are you doing with it? Fumbling the bag. But I can't complain too much. They're going to always come out supreme. They're the UFC. They're the number 1 dog. They've been doing stuff forever. I'm sure Diego Lopez is going to go out there and probably get a title shot anyway. And Alexander Volkanovski is going to get a title shot again. And I'm sure we don't even see either of these 2 fight. And there's a potential they could put on a boring performance, and the UFC just wipes their hands with them and goes, you know what? You guys are back down to you're fighting number 12 now. So you guys let me know what y'all think. I just am so hyped for this fight. I know people don't like grappling in MMA, especially the average fan nowadays. We just like knockouts and highlight reels, but this is an amazing fight, man. So make it make sense.